Hey guys, welcome back to this channel. If you're new, then welcome to this channel. Well, I'm back with one more interesting Python video, and this is all about Python Matplotlib. In this course, we will learn how to use Python library called Matplotlib, which is really interesting library which is used to represent data, and one of the most interesting tool that everyone needs during their project while representing data. And it also allows us to create graphs for analysis, and the course will be presented in a very summarized and straight to the point way. And in the end, we will create an application which will help us in demonstrating Matplotlib in practice so that we can have better understanding of how to use it. This course will help you out to understand how we can use Matplotlib to represent data. We are not creating it. We are just using the graphs that we have, which has been provided by the Python programming, and we're just going to use it and implement it for our needs, for our projects especially, so that we can represent our data, we can analyze and work on our data by using this interesting cool library called Matplotlib. So when it comes to Matplotlib library, it is most widely used Python module for plotting graphs. It could easily produce figures ready for publication and be used in different platforms. Like you can use Matplotlib library to work on graphs to represent data that you have, so that can help you out for your project, for analyzing something. And in Matplotlib, we have many interesting modules. And the first and foremost interesting module that you guys must know is actually Pyplot module. So if you guys didn't install Matplotlib yet, you guys have to install Matplotlib. For that, you can use this command called pip install matplotlib. Don't worry, I'm going to share this link. You can just copy this and run in the command. It's going to work for you. Actually, we have two ways to install Matplotlib. We can install Matplotlib on Windows. For that, we have to follow this procedure. And we also have to install Matplotlib on Linux. And for that, we have to follow some instructions when it comes to Linux, because it's a bit complex when it comes to Windows. The tutorial and the course mostly focused on the beginners. So for beginners, I'm going to use Windows so that it will be easy for them to understand and work with Matplotlib. If there are people who are watching this tutorial and want to install Matplotlib, then you can go to this link. Here, everything is well organized. You can just see the instructions and follow them and install it. Okay. After completing installation, now it's time to test whether Matplotlib installed or not. For that, I'm just going to write a dummy code. So for that, just create a Matplotlib file so that you guys don't mess up with it. So I'm gonna open it in VS Code. After opening, I'm just going to create a file called, for example, intro.py. Okay, and here, if you see, let's make it zoom for you guys so that you guys can see. Now, let us imagine that Matplotlib library is installed in our system, especially in Windows or Linux, whatever it is. So in order to use this library, we can just give from Matplotlib. You can just give from Matplotlib. In order to represent the data, in order to represent the data in the form of graph, like for example, like if you see here, we have line chart, right? So let us create this simple line chart using Matplotlib. For that, we have to use a module called Pyplot, which is a part of Matplotlib where we can use it. Just give from Matplotlib import Pyplot. That means if you see here, the extension is added to my VS Code. That's the reason it is showing me the stuff. And I'm going to give it a nickname called maybe PLT, Pyplot, as PLT, so that you can just use this instead of writing this entire thing if you feel annoying. So in order to create a line graph, we want two axes, right? Like if you see here, this is the line chart, and if you see here, we need x-axis and we need y-axis, right? And for that, like if you give data here, x and y values, it have to represent a line. This is what exactly the line chart is, right? So let me give x-axis and y-axis data. So you can just give x data here and just give This is just demo, so I'll give 1, 2, 3 and give white data here, 4, 5, 6 and done. And if you have to show this one, what you have to do is you have to use this pyplot module. You just have to give plt dot plot, and you just have to give those x data and y data as parameters. And you just added this data to the graph, but in order to see, there's a function called show. So just give plt dot show. It will show the graph. You have to give this here, and if you save and run this one, you're going to see a line chart which looks something like this. And if you see here, we have x-axis and we have y-axis, right? So the data that you gave here is actually 1, 2, 3, right? So 1. You have to see like this: 1, 4, 2, 5, 3, 6, something like that. So 1, 4, you have to go here 2, and this will be 5, and this will be 3, and this will be 6, something like that. It will create. And the options that you're going to see here is actually, this is for zooming the graph like this, and this is for searching for any data that you want, any particular data to assume or to analyze. And this will give you some filters that you can work with if you want. For me, I don't need it. And you can also save the graph, and if you go to home, it will reset everything and you can see the exact original graph. And if you see here, if you move your mouse inside of it, you can see x and y axis numbers. That means the point, the exact location it is giving you, which is really cool and amazing for me to represent data and to work with it. This is what we can do with Matplotlib. We can create many interesting graphs. We can represent data in different interesting ways to the users or to the end users when you're building an application or whenever you're working on some project to explain the data or to analyze the data. So you can also directly give these things here. It doesn't matter. For you, I just gave them so that you guys can understand it clearly. So like this, you can give. I'm going to delete these things, and you can directly give, which reduces the number of lines of the code. And if you rerun it, nothing's going to change. Everything will be same as it is. The only difference is you deleted few variables and substituted the exact values. That's it. So this is how Matplotlib exactly works, and this is all about introduction. In the next video, we are going to work with line chart, which is really amazing and interesting. We are going to use some interesting cool filters that we can, use to represent the graph, to represent the data inside the graph. You guys are going to have fun with it, for sure. If you like the video, then hit that cute little like button. If you are new to this channel, if you are this far and if you still didn't subscribe to this channel, what are you waiting for? Just go there and tap the red button so that you guys can never miss any interesting update from us. See you in the next video.